Ow!
Oh, sorry.
That one's not fallen off yet.
It's still there.
All right.
It's annoying me. I just have to put it off your face.
Well, as long as you don't get off your face in that wine, Mel. Heavens.
It's gone on my head already.
Doing
It's not noisy, it's not windy, it's bloody beautiful.
I think this is all right. This is good. Got our topic of discussion.
Yeah.
Test 1 2. Test 1 2. All right. Let's do one test of the microphone. How's your microphone going, Mel?
Fantastic, Rocky.
Good.
Amazing.
All righty. Welcome back to the Fashion and Half a Moustache. We're back, baby.
Yeah.
And we're in a jungle.
We've gone on a bit of a jungle safari, haven't we?
It's like 31 degrees.
It's lovely.
It's hot in the cot.
It's hot, but I'm doing all right. Must be the Queenslander in me.
Must be the lack of Queenslander in me, for sure, for sure. But here we are. We've finished our February run. We're
Yes.
now well into March.
Yes.
And I guess we're loving every minute of it.
Yeah, not much happens in March, but
It is the last month
bit of a
before
quiet month.
all those public holidays. So
Keen for April.
I saw a nice little article saying if you want to get the most out of your Melbourne holidays, there's a particular series of days you have to take off. And I think it ups your days off by like 30% or something.
Wow.
Like all of you, Tuesdays off, or you take the 3 days off before Easter.
Yes.
There are like certain ways to. Not that it matters to me if I ever have
on the
to.
holays.
But if I ever have to fill out a leave request application form again, I will. I will not operate any further. That'd be it. No more. Never again.
Never again.
Done with that, scars.
You're
Thank you very
not
much.
about it.
But here we are today, and we're
Yes.
talking about kids these days.
Kids these days.
The ragamuffins.
My goodness.
Can't believe it.
We're only in our 30s, but it feels so old compared to when you see kids out on the street these days.
It's just it's a different, almost a generational difference.
Yeah.
It's just the things that we've all seen, but everyone's also talking about. I feel like these are just common gripes.
Yeah.
Like, have you taken public transport lately?
No.
Awful.
Oh, why is
Awful.
that?
Oh, it's just, I don't know. I
Not
feel
the
like things have
same?
gotten worse.
Hmm.
It was like back in the 90s when I was growing up. Like if someone was around outside making too much noise,
Mhm.
there would be like a panel van pulling up rather promptly
Oh.
saying, "Hey there, buddy.
Oh my.
You're making quite you're disturbing the peace. Come with us." And they'll just take them away to one of those institutionalized zones. That probably wasn't happening when I was a kid, but they were just like kind of less kind of adult people back then. But that was before the invention of fentanyl, all those really hyper concentrated drugs.
Yeah, okay.
Because like back then it would be like, oh, on the black tar heroin, be like, oh, you did 10 milligrams too much. You're now in an overdose state. Whereas these days it's like, oh, some dust from this other really potent drug got in, and you've had like 1 microgram too much. Now you're dead. Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
It's just like, it's just kind of like it's like water. You can have like a liter of water, and you'll be like, oh gosh, I've had a lot of water, but I'm feeling quite full. I think I'll stop having water now. Whereas like these new drugs are like, oh, you've had 1 drop of water, you're now dead. Sorry, that's too much. Your body can't handle that. Like, just the stakes are a lot higher.
Yeah. Okay. You lost me.
Just think about all the stuff they had back when kind of like we were growing up. Like you'd have people who'd go out and party all the time, party all night.
Yeah.
But they're all like, if you have a lot of LSD, I'm not very versed in the whole drug thing.
No,
but,
me neither.
You see the stuff in the US, and you see these people leaning over in the street during the daytime. And it's because it's a whole different kind of beast. And that's just kind of like one of the things that's created this, it's kind of weird to kind of be out and about You don't hang around the shopping centers anymore, you know.
Yeah. So I guess you're saying that like pretty much everyone's on drugs these days.
No, that is not what I'm saying.
What are you trying to say?
I'm just saying, like, you know, the stakes are higher. Like, if you made a mistake as a kid or something, and I don't know, you got in with the wrong crowd and you smoked a cigarette,
Yeah.
you know, that was like, oh, I'm so bad. Like, he smokes, he's a bad guy. You know, these days it's like, oh no, they're dealing drugs. I don't know. Maybe I just hung around all the very polite crowds. I think at our school we had one kid who was caught smoking in the bathrooms, and I think they were expelled like 2 or 3 weeks later. Like zero tolerance.
Yeah, zero tolerance. Whereas I think kids get away with a lot more these days.
I mean, yeah, to put it fairly, that was like a private school that was very kind of zero tolerance.
Well, we were never allowed like, crazy outlandish like piercings or our hair being colored.
Oh yeah, that's not allowed.
Yeah. Whereas now I think they are, aren't they?
Yeah.
And like they're allowed to wear makeup. We weren't allowed to wear like makeup to school, and like it's pretty strict.
I will admit though, the early 2000s makeup scene was pretty diabolical.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember girls having like a perfect, like they painted their faces like a plate.
Yeah.
And you had that hard edge.
Yeah.
Going, oh, I know exactly what kind of foundation
thin
you wear.
eyebrows were all the go as well.
A lot. I feel that. And this is probably my memory getting warped. I feel like a lot of those eyebrows haven't grown back.
Yeah. Pretty much. I mean, if you plucked the hell out of them, chances are it's not going to grow back. Yeah. Because
they were really thick. I had this, classic coming of age story. So at my school, we had 3 girls. They're all very close, very best friends.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a long weekend or possibly school holidays. And you know they had a sleepover.
Okay.
And you just know they said, we're going to reinvent ourselves. This is going to be our year. This is genius. And they came to school and all 3 of them had very different haircuts on the Monday.
Okay.
And they're all walking together. And I'm like, oh, what happened to you guys? I mean, it was very stark. So we had one girl who normally had shoulder length hair.
Yeah.
And she had very nice straight, like needle straight hair. And she had frizzed it all up and kind of worn it like your Hillary Rodham Clinton type of hairdo, but also with a bun on the top.
Oh, the top bun. I think there was a time where everybody was getting perms. I do remember that.
Oh, this was just teasing, I think.
Oh, okay.
It was just although I do remember the perms, yeah.
Yes.
And then the other 2 girls.
The messy bun was also that was a classic.
That was good because it looked like you didn't care. That was like the beginning of the nonchalant phase. I
have to admit, I did do the messy bun.
But I think that works though. I think the not trying too hard looks good. Even though your hair kind of pulls if it's...
Like it wasn't cool to like brush your hair. You kind of just like shoved it up in a bun.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Like no respect at all.
Yeah.
And the other 2 hairdos was this one girl, poor girl. I think she got the worst of the 3. She normally wore, again, hair dead straight. Not much you can do with that. Well, there is a lot you can do, but she had very long black hair.
Yeah.
And she put it all into a side pony. And from one side, it looked like she had a side pony coming out of her head, which looked quite strange.
Yeah.
From the other side, she looked like Freddie Mercury without a mustache.
Oh, no.
It was real. It was wild. And the other girl, I think, she had curly hair. And she made like 2 mushroom buns on either side of her head. And they're all, and normally they just wore their hair like real normal.
Yeah.
And it was just a lot to take on. And they also overplucked their eyebrows, but they did it at the wrong end.
Okay.
They plucked from the top.
Oh, no.
So they looked really sad.
Oh.
Like, it just looked like they were like, they had that endearing sad face, but they were like totally normally faced.
Yeah, okay.
So,
wow.
Let's just say that didn't go very well.
I mean, back in, my days at school, it was all about the mullet for the guys. Like, the longer the mullet, the better. And some also rocked a frollet.
Okay, frollet.
So the frollet is like a fringe at the front, like a front mullet.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Hang on.
Wait, you've never seen a frollet?
No.
Oh my gosh.
So was it curly at the front or what?
No, curly, straight, doesn't matter.
So you mean it's a fringe?
No.
How is it different from a fringe?
It's hard to explain. I'd have to Google it and show you.
Okay.
It's
Frolic.
definitely not a fringe. Like it doesn't go down and there's no like straight definition. It kind of just sits there like at the front.
Oh, you mean like it
of
just
the
spikes
head.
up?
Not necessarily spiky either.
Oh, hang on. So all the hair was shaved except for the front.
Pretty much.
Oh, yeah. That was
but
very
some
popular
had
in
the mullet
Europe.
and the frollet.
Oh, I
Yeah. So it just depends on what look you were going for there. But I remember, that was definitely a thing. But I mean, that was back in our days. But I feel like everything's coming back around. Like cargo pants are coming back in. Like there's so many things that are coming back in. Those shell necklaces.
Oh,
like
the puka shells.
chokers.
Yeah. Chokers are definitely back in. I always thought they were cool. I never understood their function.
Well,
but, I guess it's just a necklace that doesn't jangle.
Purpose. Yeah. It's just like a really short necklace look. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of like it. The thing that I don't mind either are like the pearl necklaces for the guys.
Pearl necklaces on the dudes.
But the little pearls. I'm not a fan of the big pearls. Little pearls.
Well, doesn't it just that's like just another iteration of those little military?
The shell ones. Those like real
pearl.
Yeah, but
remember the little military little metal bead ones with a chain.
Oh yeah,
dog tag chains.
Yeah, I guess.
Does it look like that? That's how big they are.
Yeah, but
But pearl.
But pearls. Yeah.
Oh, well, we know that look works.
Yeah.
Got the whole military running with that look.
Yeah, the military tags were a thing.
Yeah.
As well. I wonder if they're going to come back in. I haven't seen anyone rock them yet.
I think there's a very anti-military stance going on at the moment. Maybe not. Although I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, nah, we're wearing it ironically.
Yeah.
Used to the word to the wise, if you got to say you're wearing it ironically, it's not ironic. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Yeah.
But there's been some new trends that have been coming out. Like I think this TikTok trend was barrel rider jeans. You heard of those?
I have not heard of those.
All right, so think of just your standard loose cut jeans. Now imagine you have flaps on, like bowed out flaps. It looks like you have rickets when you wear these.
Yes, I've seen those jeans. I've seen those jeans. Yes.
Yeah, nothing like a thiamine. No. I had a pithy chemical joke for that one, but I can't remember the correct compound. But yes, no, it looked like you got rickets, like bowed legs.
It does. It does.
You've been riding a horse.
It actually does. But I don't mind them with the right look. On the right person, I actually don't mind them.
But some of them I'll admit they had a look going for them.
Yes.
But there were others that I think the fabric was too heavy and they naturally just folded in. So you couldn't tell until someone whipped them out. You're like, oh my gosh.
Right.
Your legs are going in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some new trends. I think it's good that we give them a go.
Yeah.
We give them a go. Let the court of public opinion judge, jury, and execution of them. And
I don't think it's a trend that's going to stick around for too long, though.
But I feel like it would break down, and there'd be a small bit of that that would get cycled in. It's like, I want the bow-legged jeans, but without all the bow-legged jeans.
Yes.
I just want maybe
and everything's hipster again, so everything's on the hips.
Although I've heard rumblings that low-rise jeans are coming back.
Yes.
It's whale tail season once again.
Yes.
You still see them around every
once
once in a while.
Guys probably like that look.
I don't know. It was like it was some quote from some movie that said, it just reminds you of just, I don't know. It had unhygienic connotations, and I partly agree with them.
Yeah, fair enough. I wonder if tramp stamps are going to come back in.
Well, some people just still have them. They're still
Never
there.
got rid of them.
Yeah, and I think that's a common thing. You got people with a whole bunch of tattoos, and it's like, well, when it comes back in season, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I think it will probably come back round.
Because I don't think being, oh, look at that person. Their skin is so untattooed. I don't think anyone's ever said that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think people say, I think it's a thing where a lot of dudes just go for the traditional wife thing.
Yeah.
And I've seen definitely a lot of social media people say, I wonder why I'm like all these girls who don't have any tattoos, they get swept up and they get married, and I'm
Yeah.
here with all my tattoos and my nose rings and stuff, and I'm at the gym.
The belly
and
button rings. Like, I remember everyone was getting, like, it was like, you were like so cool if you had a belly button piercing. But I always thought they looked a bit tacky, so I never got one.
I really liked the arms race that they had to have like the most stuff dangling off of that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm just kind of like, oh, that's great. I haven't seen one that's 7
Tassely.
centimeters long. We're getting more, and I think
Yeah.
at some point that would have stopped because someone would have had one ripped out, going, that's too long.
Too much.
That's too much dangle.
We've gone too far here.
We've reached the limits of technology.
I can tuck it into my pants.
But sometimes I like that stuff. You see like the new makeup trends and whatnot. And you're like, oh, I wonder what the extreme end result of this is going to be.
There is some extreme stuff out there.
What was extreme on your in your town where you were growing up? Goths or
yeah, I'd have to say
ultra beachy.
I would say, well, we definitely had like those distinct classifications at school. So there were definitely like the goths and the emos, and
you had your classic
and the
sections.
jocks and we were. I would have to say, like, I was I've always been very like beachy, very laid back. And
was there like a crew after
so we
school
rocked those like those shell necklaces and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say like it was just, I mean, because it was North Queensland, so it was just odd seeing people wear so many clothes. So like, you would see like emos and goths and stuff, but I just remember looking at them thinking they must be so hot in that.
Yeah, that was always a question of mine.
It's just a lot of clothes.
It is. You have to be pretty thin to be able to get rid of that much heat.
And so much makeup, eye makeup. It was like very
Does that get
heavy.
hot if you wear a lot of makeup? Does that get hot?
Absolutely. You just sweat right off.
So it's like does it feel like you've got your face painted when you've...
Yeah.
Surely you've gone once where you've bronzed too far to the sun.
Probably. Especially probably when I was younger.
Well,
I never really knew how to do my makeup properly until I, started going to beauty school.
Oh. Well, that's good. Institutional. But getting back on topic, kids these days. So what are they doing? So we got like kids, we got the new haircuts. We've got the broccoli heads.
The broccoli heads.
Kids with heads that look like they're full of broccoli.
Yeah.
I guess.
I actually don't mind that look though.
It's certainly a look.
But I feel like you have to have the right shaped head to pull it off.
I disagree.
Oh.
I think it is perfect for almost any dude that has hair. But they need to have it like kind of, you can't have straight hair and do that.
Oh, you mean like it needs to be a little wavy?
You need to have a little bit of wave.
But it's like, no, I disagree. Because to me, there's like, you still see the shape of the head. And like, it's like a bald guy.
Oh, yeah, because it's all frill at the bottom. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
If you're a bald guy and you don't have a good shaped head, unfortunately, it just looks, a bit unfortunate.
But I was sitting in my car once.
Yeah.
Once. And I think I saw a couple of guys running or whatever, and they were punching each other and stuff and doing what young guys do.
Yeah.
And one of them was kind of like jumping or whatever, and one of the guys pinned the other guy down, and they said hairline check or something like that. This was so insane. This is so insane. And he lifted up his hair. I've definitely seen that trend on TikTok too. A bit of a TikTok fiend at the moment. And they pulled his hair back, and he had like pretty bare temples.
Oh,
and I feel like
hairline.
Well, I feel like that's the issue when you do like a broccoli style haircut.
Yeah.
You do. You've got essentially everyone thinks he's just a normal guy. He's a normal guy. He's got normal hair. Well, yeah, but really they're covering like 90% of their forehead, and then when you pull it up and up and up and up and up, it's like, oh, there's like nothing there.
Yeah.
And I just feel like you're not preparing people for that.
Yeah.
Have you seen those guys that like do those really elaborate comb
The
overs
comb over.
or the bandanas that kind of cover it
really
all up?
just, I feel like people, you just need to let it go. Like, just what are you holding on to?
The hair.
I know, but I
memories.
feel like it's more than the hair.
Well, it
know
is.
what
It's
I
it's
mean?
it's their confidence because the amount of videos you see.
But it looks worse than just shaving it all off.
But even the guys that shave it all off, and I've seen this, and I was at a birthday party recently where this guy who's probably been bald since, I don't know, maybe mid 20s, 30s, whatever. Someone like, they were singing happy birthday, and this guy went up and I think he was genuinely putting his hand on his shoulder, and he missed because he was looking at the camera, and he kind of like patted his head. And this dude went from 0 to 100, and he went to a fist immediately. Then I think he realized, oh, I'm at my birthday. I need to chill out a bit, maybe.
Wow.
But I think there's just this underlying seething rage for some dudes.
Yes.
Because he wasn't tall either.
Right.
And I think if you're like short and bald.
Why do guys have such a complex about that?
It's like literally the little man syndrome.
Yeah.
Every time but I don't think anyone should pat anyone on the head. But
I mean,
I think
if it was an accident,
but that reaction, someone's pat him on the head for real before.
Oh yeah, no,
like,
that's not cool.
Patting you for good luck, that'd be really rude.
Or like rubbing his head.
Yeah. And I think I think there's a lot of that underlying kind of, people haven't dealt with their problems. You need to deal with your problem. Get some therapy,
accept it. It just comes down to acceptance. If you accept it, then you're all good.
Well, you got to own it a little bit. Self-depreciating humor is like a really good kind of, like, if you make fun of it first, everyone will be like, he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
And you'd be kind of seen like as a dickhead. Oh, what's a swear word?
It's terrible, Lockie. Better bleep that one.
Well, I can put it as I'll bleep it because I put this as it's not explicit. I don't know if that counts as explicit. I think you're allowed one every show.
Oh,
well, that'll be it. I'll look that up, guys.
That'll be our one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll take it this time. You can have it next time.
Okay, fine. It's usually me anyway.
It is. It is, but that's okay.
I'm having the wine, so I'm chilled out tonight.
It's getting dark real quick.
It did.
Not any cooler though. It's still 31. Yeah. But I mean, yeah. So I think
But nowadays you can get tattoos. Did you know that? Bald guys, just FYI, you can get a tattoo that tattoos like little dots on the head so that it looks like hair follicles.
Was it called micropigmentation?
I can't remember. But I did date a guy and he was looking into it.
Was he bald?
He was bald.
But here's the thing. If they're shiny bald...
But he suited being bald.
Well, if you've got a good sized head,
you're
fine. But like shiny bald, doesn't that kind of take away from it a little bit? Like, those old dudes that have like the hair around the sides and their head is like the sun?
If it's like
a Malteser?
No, I mean, like, you look at like Jason Statham, like he can really rock a bald
I don't
head.
think he's got a shiny head though. It's shiny-ish.
He is definitely bald.
Yeah, but it's not like
he's
shiny.
Not just a shaved head. He is bald.
Yeah, but his head's... I'm talking about like
I'm sure
that
it
shine.
would be shiny. Maybe he put something on it so it doesn't shine.
I don't know what you could rub and polish into your head that would make it not shiny.
Not polish.
Oh, sandpaper.
Who would polish their head?
So he's sanding it. That 80 grit.
No, he probably puts like a powder on it so it mattifies.
I would hate that. Having to powder your head every day. This is the world that we're living in. Imagine that, because I'm sure there would have been a product, anti-sheen head powder.
I mean, the guy's got to put makeup on for movies and stuff. They would have to do his entire head. You can't just do the face and leave the rest.
Well, you think he does like a mid-dome fade?
He would have to do his entire head.
Well, yeah. Otherwise, it'd look weird.
That's right. You'd have two different colors.
Because normally you'd blend it into the hairline.
Exactly.
Hairline.
I know.
So do you think
actually never thought about it until just then. Hey?
Do you think it ends halfway down his back, or? Because they're like, we're going to blend it into the neck.
At least go down to the décolletage.
New word, ladies and gentlemen, décolletage. What does that mean?
That's what it's called. This area is the décolletage.
For those listeners at home,
You
Mel
learn
is
something
gesturing
new
to the
every
floor.
day. Every day, Lockie. So your chest is your décolletage.
I thought that was the thorax.
Isn't this the thorax?
No, that's a collarbone. It's an insect term. I'm mucking around. I'm having fun on the pod.
Anywho. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Who knows?
All right. So we've got the pitfalls of having a haircut
Yeah.
that doesn't prepare you for when you're. I mean, I've definitely seen other people or people that wear like headbands like this, like the gamers and stuff, and they don't have much hair. And they take it off and they've got like a dent in
like
their head.
Or like, oh, wow.
Because it's like pushing on the same spot every day.
Oh, wow.
And then their head looks like a peanut.
Wow. I've never seen that. I hope I never see it ever.
Luckily, a lot of women don't have to deal with hair loss. Some do.
Some do.
Some do.
Yes, alopecia is a thing.
And also just hormonal hair loss.
And that. And pregnancy.
Well, we're on the same wavelength tonight.
We are.
Yeah. And then we got shoes.
Oh, yeah.
Like sneakerheads, Mel. Have you heard of them? Although I know a lot of people of a lot of different ages. They collect sneakers.
Okay. So that's a new thing.
So normally it's the Nikes.
Yeah.
And they go and get a pair of shoes.
Yeah.
And then they normally buy two of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they like to say, I like one to stock,
mm-hmm.
meaning it's one that they stock and save. And one that they wear to rock. One to stock and one to rock.
Wow, that is insane.
And I think
is it kind of like a Barbie collection where like it stays in the packaging forever and you never ever play with it?
One of them, yes, and the other one you do wear. But here's the issue, and here's the irony. The way that shoes and these sneakers are made, if you don't wear them, step in them, move in them, whatever, the rubber and the polymers break down.
Yes.
So what they're collecting is like you have to wear them to keep them in good nick.
Right. Shouldn't they know that if they're so into sneakers?
I think they do know that, but it's just kind of, I don't know. It's like, imagine buying a pair of gloves and it's like you're selling them, or the most value they can have is never worn, and you have to wear them to keep them working.
Right.
I don't know.
It's like, I don't know, those shoes that are like, what are they called? The golden geese shoes or something? Golden goose. I don't know, but they're hideous and they are actually like quite expensive. I think you're looking at about like $800 for a pair of sneakers, and they're bought dirty.
Oh, hang on. Is that the ones where like
they've got like a star on the side?
Yeah.
You couldn't pay me to wear them.
Do they, when they wear out, do they get different colors on that? No, think of a different thing.
No. Well, I don't know. I don't know too much about these shoes, but I just know that they're bought that way, and I just don't get it.
There must be a few shoe gimmicks out there.
Yeah, but they're not even nice sneakers.
Well, that's it. And I kind of like, I think it's interesting that you can kind of bypass the whole thing. Like I've heard, and this is probably not a very nice person saying this, but what has been said is if for those that have the money, you get a nice private jet. For those that can't afford a private jet, you get a really nice house.
Yes.
Or a yacht. I don't know. There's a few. I'm going to skip over a few. For those that can't do that, they get a really nice house, or you get like a really nice apartment. But those that can't really get that, you get a really nice car. And if those can't like get a really nice like high-end car, you get a souped-up car.
Yeah.
And for those that can't get like a souped-up car, you get like really nice, fashion accessories and clothes. And those that can't afford that get really nice shoes. It's like at whatever money you have, you go, I'm going to focus on showing people I've got stuff by focusing on this very small niche.
Yeah.
Or like a nice watch or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think rich people, they wear very plain clothes, but they always wear a nice watch.
Yes.
And it's just, I don't know, it's all this different coding. But it's like how like Gucci and stuff. Remember Snooki from, what was she from? Big Brother?
Snooki. Isn't she off the Jersey Shore?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
With the situation.
I'm like, wait, are we thinking about the same person?
But I think, now I'm definitely getting the brands wrong here, but one fashion brand sent her Gucci so that she would be wearing Gucci, because I think I think Valentino, maybe it was Valentino, I don't know. She was wearing like some Valentino stuff. So they just sent her all this Gucci stuff. And then she was like Gucci'd out. And then Gucci got associated with Snooki,
Right.
which was like, which kind of made, I mean, rich people don't have those big Gucci signs and everything. They're all about subdued kind of money doesn't talk at whispers.
Yeah. Why did they send her Gucci?
So their brand wouldn't be associated with Gucci. They didn't want to go that way. I mean, with Snooki. Not associated with Gucci.
Okay. That makes sense.
So it's like if I saw someone wearing like Lachlan's shoes and I'm like, I really don't like that person. I'm going to send them all of Mel's shoes.
Oh my God, that's so funny. I can't believe they did that.
Wasn't that smart?
It is
it's
smart.
Almost corporate
It
espionage.
deterred her. Yeah. Oh, what's that?
But I mean, she's just like, it's
bug
a
on
bug.
my head.
We're in the tropical zone now.
Oh.
We're on location.
Yeah, we are.
But yeah, and then we've got skincare. We're a little bit all over on this topic because kids these days, we've been going left, right, and center.
There's a lot to cover here.
There is. But how much skincare stuff have you been seeing for these young'uns? You got like a 10-step skincare routine.
I feel like the beauty industry has definitely exploded. Like there are just so many products out there I can't even deal. And like the whole, I guess I'm a little bit old fashioned in this sense, but just the extremes they go to just do their makeup is out of this world. Like I feel like they don't even look like themselves afterwards because there's so much contouring going on. And I actually heard that there was a couple who got married and he had never seen his wife without makeup. And one day after they got married, she had no makeup on. And he ended up divorcing her because she didn't look anything like what he was used to seeing.
Yeah.
Isn't that insane?
Well, there used to be those magazines of how to be a wifely wife. And it'd be like, quickly get up before your husband awakes and put your face on.
Isn't that insane though? Like even all the plastic surgery and stuff like that people get. Like I get it if you've got like, a crazy nose and you're just like not happy with it and getting a nose job will make you feel better. All for it. But people take it too far. And I feel like if it comes to a point where like you just don't look like yourself anymore, I feel like that's going too far. And it's like, wouldn't you still want to like look like yourself and like?
But imagine if you always hated yourself though.
Yeah, it's really sad, isn't it? When you think about it and like, break it down, it's just like, why are these people doing that? And it's like, well, they obviously aren't happy like within themselves.
But that's it. It's all how you perceive it. Because I remember a sister of a friend of mine. She always had a very interesting nose.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is up with that nose? Like I could see all of her business. I was seeing like her whole sinuses all the way through to her brain. It was
wow.
And I'm like,
so like
nose
I can understand that if she wanted to
know. No. That wasn't the thing. It was I asked. I'm just kind of like, that's your nose looks completely different to everyone else's in your family. I'm so sorry for bringing that up. And she's like, oh no, that's okay. I paid for this nose. This is like
so she paid for it to look
like
that.
And she showed me a before photo, and she had a nose that like the skin was maybe a little bit thicker than. Again, the cruel kids picking on kids, and the nose really didn't look that bad. But what she had done was this new thing where you have like a ski slope at the end of your nose, like you have a raised tip.
Okay.
And the raised tip just made it look like I was looking up her nose.
Oh no!
It looked like a pig snout. And I'm like, oh, they've absolutely killed it.
They've botched it.
Yeah, they've major botched. But she was so happy with that nose.
She loved it.
She's like, it's my favorite thing about me. But like when she wears her glasses, it's like she's got no depth on her bridge anymore.
Right.
Like the glasses sit in one place, and if they're not there, they've fallen off.
Oh no.
It's really hard to describe, but she is so happy with it. And because she's out of school now, obviously, and polite people don't tend to mention other people's noses.
Yes.
She's just living her best life.
She loves it.
But imagine if she just waited till she left, because she had that done, I think, when she was 16.
Yeah,
And
okay.
I'm like, if you just held out another 2 years, you'd realize no one's making fun of that anymore.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
so it's wait till
It's
you're
just
18,
so
people.
crazy. Like, oh no, they don't wait anymore. They do not wait. Like, I feel like people are getting, braces earlier and,
Well,
all of that stuff. Everything's done earlier
yeah, but
compared
braces,
to.
that's all.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm just saying it's fine. I'm just saying everything's done earlier these days. Like boob jobs, nose jobs, fillers. Like girls in their 20s are getting filler, and it's like even probably sooner than that, 18.
Well, shouldn't everyone kind of wait till 25? Because that's when like you're finished growing, you now start dying.
No,
25's the cut.
30.
Yeah.
Women, you start losing collagen when you reach 30.
Wow.
Yeah. So actually, nobody needs to do anything until they're 30.
But then why does Leonardo DiCaprio lose every girl he's dating at 25?
I don't know. That's it. That's
We
a
should
him
tell him that.
thing.
Maybe we could change it
I
so
think
he
that's a
dumps him
him
at 30.
thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm.
Well, yeah, he's got problems.
He's got issues. Yeah, for sure.
I think it's the first celebrity we've mentioned on the podcast.
I think I do get Botox, I'm not gonna lie.
What does it do? Does it
I
hurt?
started when I was 30, but that's because it was more, I guess, maintenance. I just wanted to.
Oh, so if you call
More
it maintenance, it's
preventative.
okay. It's
I guess
preventative.
yeah.
Nothing's wrong, but I'm worried that something might.
Well, I just don't want
Like-
any wrinkles, Lockie. But
Yeah.
I do have them, and I'm not anal about my appointments. It's
Well-
kind of every, 2-3 times a year kind of thing.
Yeah, just like a little holiday.
Just a little
for your-
pick me up.
for the muscles in your face.
Yeah.
But that's the thing though. I think there are some wrinkles that are cuter than others. Sure, there are some wrinkles that are bad, like if you've got puppet face, where you look like a marionette, not a marionette. What's that Chuckles from Goosebumps, where you got the two lines here, puppet face.
Yeah. I
And
know
your
what
mouth
you
looks like
mean.
it's one of those ventriloquist dummies.
Yes, but it's
That's
so
unfortunate.
true though, because when you do hit your 30s, it can be a good thing and a bad thing. Because I've noticed, with me especially, your face just looks thinner. So that can be a good thing for some people, because I
Are you
guess
talking
you
about the
lose your
buccal
baby,
fat
you lose your
deposits that
baby
you've got
face.
over? Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, isn't that all buccal fat? So two deposits in your cheeks that give you your. People are getting that removed now, like 10 years before it should be.
You're gonna naturally
Well, they want to look like
thin
a
out
skull.
anyway.
The closer you can look like a skull, the more social power you have.
The cheekbones and whatnot.
Yeah.
High cheekbones.
But there's been a lot of movie actors that have been getting all that done, and now all their faces look the same. They've lost all of their. I just can't imagine getting a procedure like that done.
No, that's a bit.
I think the best
extreme.
bang for your buck is when you're old and wrinkly and you've got a heap of I had one of my
facelift.
kind of yes, yeah. I had a client of mine and he got really bad cancer, thyroid cancer, and he had this massive 2 lumps on either side of his neck, and he had a lot of loose skin there,
Right?
And they removed the tumors and he was okay and he lived another couple of years. But he looked fantastic after they got those.
After a facelift?
Just getting rid of the extra neck.
Oh.
The neck that is just hanging there in the wind.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't help you. You can't move your neck more. You don't turn to an owl and I can move my neck much more. I can do 360 now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
think that's the best bang for your buck.
Yeah.
Having old skin, not
I would
30-year-old skin.
Consider a facelift when I'm older.
Some people get their knees lifted. Can you believe that? They don't like their wrinkly knees.
That's insane. I mean, I don't know who looks at knees, but
well, that's
I guess it's just a thing that people have, I guess.
But as humans, we've got pattern recognition tendencies. It's like remember when you were a kid and you had those old static TVs when it couldn't find a channel.
Yeah.
And someone you're at a sleepover or something, they're like, oh, if you look into there, you'll see a demon or the guy there's a murderer that'll come out and kill you. And sure enough, if you look when it's dead at night, you know how a lot of stuff was just scarier because it was oh, I'm normally asleep right now, you know. And you'd look into the static and you'd see something scary and you're like, that's evil. We gotta say an extra couple prayers tonight, I think,
Yeah.
guys. That's just a little bit too dark for me, you know. I think that's really funny because, you know, it's just the brain trying to find patterns in randomness.
Yes.
And I think when you look at a mirror for too long,
Mm.
that's where you get these people that like inject oil into their muscles
Yeah.
so that they can
okay.
have like this perfect
Oh,
silhouette.
I heard about that lady. I was just like, oh, what are you doing?
Well, it's called synthol, and you'd use it to like if you've got like some muscles have like holes, and then they've got like a hernia. You know, some muscles they're not formed. We're all not all born perfect.
Yeah.
And some people have muscles that have like little things. Synthol was meant to kind of like fill in those gaps so you could have like perfect lines and stuff like that. But then someone thought, oh, this synthol stuff's pretty cheap. I think I could make a whole bicep out of this. And then you've got like all oil muscles.
Oh, no, I was talking about the lady that used olive oil, but that sounds just as bad.
Well, that's worse because that's not even body safe.
No,
that's
it's just pure stupidity. But
or desperation. They used to have injection parties in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. There you go.
There's
a
lot of people desperate for some of that TLC.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting on
we are
botched
fully
before
sitting
in
the dark here.
Yeah, it is like
getting
midnight
on.
right now.
Yeah.
Not really. But I can barely read my notes here.
How are we on for time? I think we're surely good.
We're on the 40, so we can
Oh, okay.
we can go into the bonus content.
Amazing.
If we need.
And we're dark so quick.
It is quite dark. I'm getting a little bit scared. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, if we didn't really stick on the topic.
Well,
today.
there's a spider there. Oh. I feel like every time we've done something outside, there's just been like some kind of.
Well, if you were here half an hour ago, we would have been done half an hour earlier, Mel.
I'm sorry, that was my fault.
Mel says she was filling up her car, and I asked for half an hour.
I said I should get there around 7. I didn't say I will get there around 7.
We were listening to the same phone call, ladies and gentlemen. I know what I heard. I know it's very dark, but that's okay. It's Friday. It's a good day to be. Well, it's Sunday by the time you guys can be listening to this.
Yes.
Or another named day of the week. But yeah.
So kids these days.
Kids these days.
Out of control.
I think we barely touched on kids these days. We had the broccoli haircuts.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Oh, well, it's still good. We had some good back and forths there. So if you've got some kids these days stuff or anything we've talked about today on the pod, please definitely leave us a comment. We'd love to respond to that comment.
Yes.
And maybe start a dialogue. I don't know. We got a lot of options. But that's it for the regular episode this week. So hit that play out music.
Thank you for listening.
If you'd like to see our premium, extended, and video content videos, please have a look at our Patreon account.
Absolutely.
Sign up and support us. And you'll be able to see all these episodes in all of their visual glory.
Yes.
Before anyone else can, and get access to extended episodes.
Yes.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Alrighty.
Have a lovely
premium content.
Yes.